Hello everyone, welcome to this live. And without being too dramatic, I almost died. My name is Daniel. I have this channel on self-development, and the reason of this live video is not only about this story and experience, is also to force myself. It's crazy. You have no idea how hard it is actually. I feel nervous and I feel like my heartbeat, just because I know I'm going live, even though I have no watchers. I think it's just one person watching me or none at this moment. So it's also to force myself to do more YouTube videos, and doing YouTube lives, it's one of the ways that is easier to do YouTube videos. I mean, you just go record it and no editing, nothing. The downside is you can't edit, so whatever you say can stay there. Anyway, so how I said, my name is Daniel. Welcome to this live. So I also I'm doing this to practice, to go less off the script and more natural, to practice my communication and to deliver this topic today about a recent accident that I had on 8th of October. I had a really bad accident, but fortunately I'm okay. I'm in one piece. That's why you're seeing me here. And this made me realize some things that I want to share them with you today and on replay if you're going to be here, or if I'm going to keep the live, because I have the options to delete this live if I don't like it. So what happened is I had a very bad accident at work. There are some metal stairs there, and they were a bit wet, slippery, and there are probably 12 of them or more, I don't know. And I had my hand that I should have kept the bar. I had something else in that hand, and anyway, I couldn't grab myself. So from the front of the stairs, immediately from the top, my leg just slipped so bad, like this, like total, and all the weight, everything. I fell down on my bum and then on my elbow and on my left side, something like that, and I don't really remember exactly more. And went on each one of them. Even the sound was like, like some drums, like boo, 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 boo. And yeah, this will not be such a big problem, but I also have like a disc herniation and I have problems with sciatica. And for those of you who don't know, that is sometimes you have some episodes, some painful episodes. You can't move properly. It's painful when you stay down or you come back up, or in movement in general, and it can keep you about 2-3 days. One of these episodes, and I already had that. Yeah, so now imagine falling exactly where you already have a problem. So that's the scary part. And even me in that moment, when I fell, when I first hit the impact of the first hit, exactly there, I was in my head saying sarcastically to myself, this is exactly what you need. To hit yourself somewhere where you are already weak, somewhere where you already have problems. And I have this problem for many years. I have the problem since I was 19. I'm now 34 almost. And I've always been careful, and I always, I don't even know how it happened, like in the sense that I feel like it's also a hit in the ego, like people seeing you falling, and like it's like, I don't know, 1 year and something since I'm there, I never fall. I never fall down. I'm usually not the type of person that usually falls, or there are some people that usually all the time they sleep, they do something, but usually I'm not that type, and it just happened. And it was quite bad. So I went down all the stairs, and when I lift myself back up so I managed, I went down, I lift myself back up, and I was in pain. I was feeling that side, my lower back especially, and my bum, because I was really bad on my bum. And I was up and holding myself from something there. And a girl from a different site, she seen me. She knew me. She knows me as well. Anyway, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah," but I couldn't even speak properly. And she came next to me. She asked me again. And next moment, I just wake up down. I was down, and she managed to hold me. She said she seen when my lips went purple, and she went behind me and catch me. And I don't know how she managed, because she's like, I don't know, 6'5" maybe, I don't know, 6'4" maybe, I don't know, and feet, let's say, but again, we're not well built. And yeah, she managed to hold me, and I'm like about 85 kilos, maybe 90 kilos, I don't know. But yeah, she managed to catch me, because imagine from I could fall with my head or something. I'm a tall person. I'm a 6'2". Anyway, she catch me. So, and after I come back from the faint, and things was getting a bit better. I tried to stand up on a chair, and the faint was coming back. So I feeling I'm fainting back again. But I think it was the nerves and the shock on my spine that was producing that. So I lay back down a bit so I can, I don't know how to explain it. So every to be like, yeah, I hope you get the idea. Anyway, a few moments after, I managed to wake back up, managed to walk the stairs back up, and basically my movement is all right. It was okay. I still was like in pain. And after like a while, more pain started to reveal, because when you're in that shock, you don't feel everything. With the more time it goes, you're gonna feel all the sides. So after my elbow started, my shoulder and middle back around here, I think that's all. So elbow, shoulder, and middle back, upper back, and the lower back. Anyway, quite a bad fall. I'm almost embarrassed to say it, and yeah. After this, even though I could walk, I was walking. I was also, after that, I tried to walk for longer, because I don't know if you know. All the time when you have a problem, especially a mobility problem or something, it's better to exercise, to move, to do like a physiotherapy or something. Anyway, so I was just walking here and there after, just so I can put myself back together, if it makes sense. But yeah, I was fine. But I still went to the hospital, just to be sure it's nothing worse. And I took the rest of the week off, because I felt like it's so bad, and I felt like I can't stay, on a chair for longer. For long, I need to be like at home, to lay down when I need to, walk more, and things like that. The lucky thing is I didn't hit my head in any of the stairs, and after that, when I fainted, that girl catch me. So that's a very, very lucky factor. Yeah. And I realized this could have been so much worse. Like, imagine if I will hit my head, or if I will fracture my spine, or if anything will be a bit harder than a bit more intensity, it could have been so much worse, especially with my head in both instances, but it didn't, so I'm grateful for that. Yeah, so fortunately the pain is manageable, um, and I managed to recover with like minimum damage, I think. I mean, this happened on 8th October. We are now in 11, so I still have a bit of pain, but the pain when relieved each day, it went better, so it didn't go worse so far. I still have some pain in the middle lower back, and it's very similar to the one that I used to have as an episode of disc herniation, for example. Okay, so what have I learned from this? I did learn that life can end up in any moment. You never know. You see, like even maybe you're like really healthy, or maybe you never think about, maybe you're really young, maybe you have problems or you don't have, you get me. Accidents happens. And this is just one example of a very silly one, a very simple one, just sleeping on the stairs. That can happen at any time and to anyone. And let's not put in consideration now, auto accidents like with a car, or so many accidents that can go wrong. Another thing that I learned is you need to be grateful every day. Luckily, I kind of was, and I am. I am the kind of person, at least recently, that I am grateful for every moment, for every opportunity. I'm grateful for everything in my life, from my family, for my friends, for my job, for the people I encounter, absolutely about everything, about each day, about the sunlight, about to be able to walk, to be able to eat a nice meal, able to still see. There are always people in worse situations, so no matter what you're going through, you need to realize there are people that they are in a much, much worse situation than you are. So even the problem that you have is someone with a worse problem than you have. So you always need to keep this in mind and be grateful for how you have and the cards that life deal you. Like we can't really choose that. We need to play the cards we received, and we need to play it at the best of our ability, and not by whining why the other one is doing better, why they have better cards. No, just we need to do this, just yeah, being grateful for what we have, because believe me, there's always someone in a worse scenario than we are at all times. So even on your darkest, worst scenario, worst problem that you have, there is someone worse than you in exactly that moment, in the same time. So I'm not talking here like in the future, in the past. No, the same time is someone that's worse than you. So be grateful. I'm grateful as well. So this is another lesson, gratefulness. Like this made me even more grateful. Another very, now when I'm doing live, my face is itchy, my nose, everything is itchy. Yeah. So breathe, Daniel, breathe. Another very important lesson that helped me, that not helped me, that it taught me. This is unreal. Is to be more humble, because in general I like to think I'm a humble person, but even me as a humble person, I still have an ego sometimes. So even though no matter how humble I am, sometimes I still, that ego comes back to surface. And sometimes an ego can be a good thing, sometimes it can be a bad, mostly it can be bad, I think. And I realize I need to be more humble, and I need to speak maybe even on my channel. My intentions are always good, But even on my channel, if you're gonna look in some other videos that I done, I might sound a bit rude or a bit not humble enough, maybe, like, or the way I speak is like a bit more like I'm arguing with the viewer, or like you, I'm like, you should do that, and I don't care, like I don't know to explain you, like it's not enough empathy there. Even though I am an empathic person, but I feel when I do the YouTube videos, I feel like I need to convey the message more serious, more like Andrew Tate style, something like that. And honestly, that's not me, but I think I'm still learning, and I think yeah, I think I need to adjust that. I need to speak like now, probably like simple, genuine, um not trying too hard. Probably I feel like if you're gonna watch my previous videos, I think they're good. I like them. The message that it's in them, I like them even now. But I feel like my tone of voice, maybe my the way I convey them, the way I transmit them to the viewers could be a bit more humble, and could be more from a place of not not forcing people, not to do a certain thing, or to be more like humble, like, this is what I think, this is my opinion. It's, and it's your choice if you want to listen or not. Anyway, yeah, so definitely be more humble, have a less ego. Very important lesson. Another lesson is, don't be upset on anyone. So if you are now in um, especially if it's family or friends, don't be, if you are not in good relationship with anyone, just call them, repair the situation. You be the more humble one, and you be the one that solves the situation. Maybe because sometimes some people, especially if you are the more conscious one, the more awake one, let's say, some people, they have a big ego. Some people, they are more stubborn. So you be the one that, uh, how to say, to the first step back in. I'm not saying like to go and hang out with them, but don't be in a bad relationship. Don't be upset on each other. Don't be, like, don't leave it like that. And this could be with family, especially with family, could be with friends, could be with coworkers, with anyone in general. You need to have good relationships, yeah. And if you don't repair them, and don't hold grudges, and don't hate on anyone, and don't be angry or something, things like that, because as you can see, you never know when life can end. So this is another big thing, like, try to don't hold grudges, and hate or something on no one. Now, a weird thing is, um, I was not, and I'm not, even now, I'm not afraid of dying. I was more afraid of being, um, like, how you call that, disabled. For example, if you end up being disabled or something, that's it can be far worse than. It depends now on the graduate, because I'm, it's even I know loads of people that they are disabled, and they fight it, and they live a good life, and many times they have more ambition, and they take more risks, and they think even better sometimes than normal people, that they don't have any disability, because sometimes those disabilities, they can make them to awake in a different way. An example that comes to my mind, but I don't know his name, it's one guy online with no arms, no legs, and he's a motivational speaker, he's a swimmer, and he's a skydiver, if I'm not wrong. And he has probably lots of money, doing this. And imagine, he does all this, with no arms and no legs. So what excuses do we have? Like you are whining about your problem and you're thinking to quit when someone like him exists in this world. So you see, no matter what's wrong with you, you can still make it like he makes it in life. And yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, I was not really afraid of dying, and I'm not, because being afraid of that is not good. I'll give you an example, even though it's a bit controversial, yeah, because opinions are split on this subject, yeah. So, for example, yeah, why is not good to fear death? The best example is COVID, because I'll tell you what happened. The people who were scared for their life, for their health, when they believed the lie, oh, you're gonna die, this is so deadly, and you're gonna whatever, they run to get the vaccines. Nothing wrong, everyone has their own choice. And but beside that, when they restrict our freedom and they say you can't go there and you can't do that and you can't do that, who conform? The ones who are afraid in general of everything, but especially about that. Because I don't know how to explain it to you. There is even that quote from Stoics, I think, remember you're immortal. This means not to think every day you're gonna die and be like a pessimistic or things like that. It means that, I don't know, like accept it. It will happen, and you never know how it will happen, and you need to be at peace with it from now. Like, and me, I did this lesson a long time ago. Anyway, so the people that they are fearing that they are very easy to manipulate. That's the whole idea, because fear is a very low vibrational feeling. It takes your power away, and fear all the time is used to manipulate people all the time, in anything, not only with this example, but you get me, especially with this example. So that okay, I'll take it a bit further. How I started to not fear that, let's say, or how I accepted the fear or possibility of that even from before. Why I did that was, at one point I had a medical problem that I did some blood work and something, and I was still not feeling good, and I had some weird symptoms, and I was scared. I was afraid, yeah. And I was like, at one point, and I was in this stage of being afraid for months, or almost a year, and it was very consuming to be in that stage. So I was like, okay, why am I afraid? And I was like, yeah, I'm afraid about this health condition that I might have, and it can be dangerous, and I don't know. Then I was like, okay, so I tried to go deep and deep. Why am I afraid? Why? Because I needed to get out of that, because for me was the fear of that condition that was not even a diagnostic, was nothing, was just me in my head. And I think we all done this at one point. I was could be that and that, and oh look, this is because, anyway. So I needed to get rid of that fear. So I think I read an article or something about spirituality and about the fear of that, and how you need to accept the fear of that. So after it went like that, basically accept the worst case scenario. So I was like, okay, why am I afraid? And I was like, well, because this, and I was like, so what? So I might die. And I was like, so what? Okay, if you die, you die. You can't do anything about it. And if you die about because of a medical condition, or about because the car crashes you, or like an accident like I had, it doesn't matter. You're gonna die anyway. So why stress about it? Like, okay, it is. Now think about just what's the solution. Don't think about being afraid of something, especially and accept it will happen. And after when you realize, yeah, it will happen when it will happen, you don't have any control about it, so why stress about it? I don't know if I managed to explain it to you really well, to transmit it to you as you should, but I think you should do a research on this, about fear of that, about accepting fear of that. And you need to accept this fear of that from now, even if you don't have any problem. Believe me, your life will be much easier, because you can apply this in everything. When COVID was, I was like, okay, so what can happen? Oh, I might die. Oh, okay, so I'll die. I don't have a choice anyway. So if I'll die, I'll die. I'm not gonna stay now scared for 3 months, 6 months, or 2 years, how they kept us in lockdowns. Imagine to be 2 years scared of that when and nothing happened. So wouldn't that be a very waste of your time? So you see me in the COVID, because for me I had this lesson even before COVID. So I kind of accepted this thing with that. They can happen at any time, and I accepted, and I'm not scared of it, not afraid about it. So when COVID was, I was not afraid. I actually even went out. I was driving around. I was going where I needed to. Even they tell us no, because okay, so I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. So what? You get me? Now, don't take this foolish. Like, don't do like, I don't know what kind of like illegalities or something, because you know you're gonna die. No, but you get me. It gives you some power when you're not afraid of things. The whole idea is not to be afraid. Fear is very bad. Is very low energy. Yeah. Or another lesson, or say, I don't know. So after that, I could. It matters your mental stage. It matters the way you think. If you're a weak person, or if um, it, your perspective matters. So after that, I could say why God didn't protect me, why He didn't do something to stop my fall. Sorry. Why didn't He make it stop? Make me to like do something else in that moment, or something like that. So if you're a pessimistic and you want to go that route, you could do, you know. But in the same time, if you want to be optimistic, you could be like, this was meant to happen anyway, probably, or because of me, I didn't pay attention. Take accountability. I didn't pay enough attention to. I didn't hold myself. Yeah, with my hand, I didn't hold the bar, and and beside that, God actually protected me, because in all those stairs, 12 stairs maybe, I didn't hit my head even once. And the second thing is, after that, when I was back up and when I fainted, and that girl was around exact at the right moment, she came to me, and she knew how to catch me as well. She noticed the, how you call that, the signs of a faint. She said, "Oh, you have some. You are you okay? You have purple lips or something." And next time, I was down and she was holding me. So you see, God protected me. That's how I want to see it, you know. And another thing is, accidents happens. You're not more special than anybody else. There may be people with that they had maybe a more righteous life than me, for example, and they still probably died, or something very wrong happened to them, and that's just life. So that's how you need to see the things. It's just life. It can happen to anyone. The same like accidents, diseases. You never know. And just be grateful. You're still alive, no matter you are maybe alive but in a bad position, problem. You get me? Stage. That's solvable. And no matter what's your problem, there is someone with a worse problem than you. So I'm actually grateful because I'm in one piece, and so far it looks like I'm okay, and my mobility is okay. Very slight problem, similar to an episode of disc herniation pain that I usually was getting every 6 months, 1 year, and I think that will go as I recover. So like in a few days and the exercise. So again, realize it could have been much much worse, and just be grateful that I'm alive. I can experience a new day. So imagine my life could end up 3 days ago, but I'm still here, I can do this live. I can drink some water. I can eat something nice. I can speak with my family. I'm grateful, of course. Another thing that I learned is, and not necessarily from this accident, in general, I had this mindset before. After something happens to you, no matter what it is, a problem, an accident, whatever, don't dwell on it. Why it happened? Why me? Why? It doesn't matter why. It happened. Now, because it happened, move on. What I mean by move on, you ask yourself, okay, and now what? What's the next thing to do now? So this happened. I can't go back in the past. I can't change it. Okay, I was stupid. Or maybe even if you were not stupid and it just happened something and it was someone else's fault, it happened. Someone did something wrong to you. Yeah, they did. Yeah, so you can't do anything. You can't go back in the past and do something about it. No, you can't. So you you think about, okay, and now what? And this doesn't need to be after a month or 2 months or after 6 months of asking yourself why or living in the past. The moment something bad happened to you, in the next second, you're thinking, okay, now what's my next option? What should I do next? Excuse me, I have itchiness everywhere. Okay, so for example, in my case, immediately after, I was thinking, okay, what can I do now? So I realized, okay, I need to keep walking around a bit because in general, that's how you recover. People have this impression, oh, something bad happened to you, go and stay in the bed. Depends on how bad it is, of course. But like in this kind of case, yeah, go sit down, go and take a painkiller. I would say that's depending on your situation. But in my case, was that's not the situation. The situation is to move, to make your, like put yourself back together, and of course, if it was painful or something, no, you get the idea. So I was just walking around just to, if it makes sense, like a physiotherapy exercise, if it makes sense, just to put myself back together. Next thing, I was asking this question. Okay, so now what next? So next, even though I was feeling quite okay, I could see was not very severe, even though I had pain, but was feeling like bruises, pain, and things. I was thinking to go home, but I said, okay, let me not rush. Let me, I mean, even though I feel quite okay, let me go to the hospital and let's see what they say. They are the specialist and they know better. So then I went to the hospital by myself. I ordered myself an Uber and I went because I told you it didn't feel that bad. And it isn't. Went to the hospital, they checked me up, they put me in some weird positions, they pressed on certain points, and they said I'm okay because if it was something bad or wrong, um, the the moment they press on you, you're just gonna jump up immediately. You would not be of pain, because of the pain. So anyway, they didn't scan me, they didn't make me any X-ray or the other one. I don't know how you call the other one, the magnetic resonance. Yeah, but I was there because I was thinking, okay, I felt what's the next thing to do? This. What's the next thing? This. Okay, what's now? Okay, go and home. Okay, then what's the next thing to do? Usually in the day that I fall was my training. I train one day yes and one day no. So I have a rest day, working out day, rest day, working out day. So in that day I should have worked out. And I said, okay, what now? So I said, okay, even though I want to work out because I don't like skipping my workouts, I said I'm gonna give it 2 days because it was more painful. So and to leave everything. So I stayed 2 days, and yesterday, in the third day, I think it was anyway something like that. Was my next training. So I was like, what should I do now? Should I try? Should I not? So I said, okay, let me try it. So I tried it and I managed to do some press ups. Squats was harder. So I feel mobility pain when I do squats, but I managed to do. abs I can't do, because the moment I lift myself and the pressure, the heaviness goes on my lower back, I feel it. But I adapted with a more easier one, and I also trained, because there's a thing, people think when you recover you need to just stay like that and you're going to recover. No, you're not going to recover sitting. You're going to recover by doing stuff, by doing physio exercises, by moving your arms, your ligaments and so on. So that's what I did, and it's okay. I feel okay so far. Another big lesson, still from this fall. Believe me, this fall was really bad. And I think it could have been so much worse, but I think I was lucky, because for the past 4 or 5 years I'm training continuously. So I didn't really, or I had small breaks, like 1 week, 2 weeks maximum, but in general I kind of train continuously, like gym. Now I do home trainings for a year now, with body weight and some other things. And I think if I wouldn't be doing this, I think the consequences could have been worse, because you get me, like doing this for 4 or 5 years continuously, it kept me more together. I think my muscles, my ligaments, my bones, I think they were more dense, and I think it helped. I also, for the past 4 years, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs. um, so I think this also helped, because sometimes when you drink and smoke and you don't take care and you eat bad food, i I think it can lower your resistance to, your muscles, your um, bone density. Yeah. Another lesson, you see, when something happens to me, I'm very analytical. I have too many lessons to share with you, even though I don't know if anyone is watching. uh, so another very important lesson is, you need to go after what you want in life, because you never know when your life ends. So why just uh, stay and to be safe? Why to be safe, to play safe, and be afraid of failure, be afraid of what people think, and don't go after what you want, don't take that risk. And at one point, you think you're going to do it later, and later you never know, maybe you are, maybe you're not. So at least, if you will die, hopefully not everyone, but at least when that happens, you will be at peace. You'll be like, I did everything I needed to, I did everything I could, I played my role as good as I can. Now life happened, I just fall and died, the car crashed me, but beside that, I did my everything, my part. I'm okay going. Like, I did everything. I used all the time, all this time that God gave me, I used it with, you get me, like doing nice actions, taking risks, learning new things, being my best version, um, by finding God, eating healthy, doing sport, eliminating vices, distractions, eliminating Netflix. I did all this. I did, and get me. I tried my best of my abilities. I tried to go after my dream. Maybe I didn't manage, but I tried at least, and it's different than having regrets. So go after what you want, starting now. You get me? Because you never know. Yeah, so I'm looking here because I have a bullet point script, but it's not like a full script. It's just the idea and me after I'm developing to you, like I'm expanding it. Another thing that comes to me is, don't get discouraged. In the sense, when these things happens, it can discourage you. it can put you back to into your shell. It can dim your light. It can, because let's face it, nobody likes when anything hard happens to us. And this is like about a physical thing, but sometimes you don't like it when you have a stressful situation in life, when you don't have enough money, when your relationship is not working, when maybe, there are many things that we don't like hard and heavy things, but we need to understand they are part of life. They just happen and you can't do anything about it. So don't life will keep hitting you. That's the idea. Okay, I think so life will still keep hitting you. And it's not like it has something with you. Life hits everyone in different ways. For example, some people in their life has more health problems, and that's their hits that they get from the life. Some other people, maybe they're healthy, like physically, but they have a very bad mental battle, and that's their battle, like. Or some other people, they're really poor. Some other people, you see, they're disabled. Everyone, life still does that, and you never know what will come your way. So you need to don't get discouraged when this happens, like don't let it put you back in your shell, because if you go back in your shell, that shell will not allow you to grow. It will keep you get me, you have a shell, the shell is small. And I think this is also like a test, is a trial. This is how you need to see this. Because imagine if you all the time when, and I did that in the past actually, when all the time the life I think when you are ready to expand, the other force, let's say, I don't know, you get me, the negative force of the universe will try to discourage you. When you're ready to expand, it will like, it gives you one, like something that really hits you in the ego. It could be, if you're like, when I was 18, I was very into bodybuilding, and I had my disc herniation. So my dream of being a bodybuilder died. And at 18, you're more invested in the ego than you are now when you're 33, 34, because now you're like, okay, I tried, it doesn't work, fuck it. But when you're young and all your identity stays in that, you feel so bad. Anyway, I'm derailing here. So that's basically life. But it's not life, you get me. It's just things that happens that tries to put you in your shell back. But you, in that moment, you need to don't give up. You need to go back at it twice as hard. So, like, don't leave it. Like, for example, me now with this fall, I was like, I don't know, when you are in that moment and you're like, why am I even doing YouTube videos? Who am I to teach others? Who am I to let them, like, maybe I should not, uh, I should mind my business. I should not say anything to anyone. Maybe, like, I'm saying all the things, but look, I don't know, I mean, I'm just falling on the stairs like stupid, like, or I'm saying that, but, in my life, I did these mistakes or things like that. But you see, that's not a good approach. When life throws trials and hits you, you just need to learn the lesson, get back up, take the dust from you down, yeah, and you be like, okay, lesson learned, let's go forward. So that's what I'm trying now. So let's do a lesson from this, and this is quite a big lesson, as you can see. Let's go put it on YouTube as well, and don't let life beat us up. I'm still alive, so let's go on. Because if you do this, I'll tell you who I think did this. Those persons, or maybe usually some of the older generation, that you can see that they took the very safe approach to life: work home, work home, work home. They didn't invest because it's risky. They didn't do, I don't know what sport, because it's risky. They didn't, you know there's many things, like, or like something happens to them, they were maybe in the middle of doing something happened to them, and they got discouraged immediately. They never tried again. They tried to open a business once, something bad happened, someone took advantage of them, someone tricked them, took their money or something, they didn't try again any longer. uh there are maybe people the same in relationship. They've been in some toxic relationship and they don't want to try any other relationship until they die. Many things. So when you do this, you just go in that comfort zone, but you're gonna live a life not worth living. That's my opinion. And you can see some of the older generation people that they lived this life. Their life is very predictable. And I don't know if you to put me to choose between a life like that and maybe a life with a bit more adventure, not exaggerated, but a bit more adventure, a bit more risk, even with the risk of dying at one point, I would take that one. That because anyway, you're not really living if you are very in your shell, if you are very not taking risk, if you all the time doing the same things on repeat, you're anyway almost dead. So that's what I think it's take more risks, and yeah. Let me check here if well, I'm almost at the end. So I know it was a long live. Thank you if you've been with me, but this might be another video that I've been just with myself. But even like that, if you've seen the beginning of the video, it's hard even like this, even with no viewers. Imagine what it will be with viewers. Okay, so be brave, take challenges, fight them. Of course, I'm not saying here, like crazy risks or like very reckless things. I hope you get me what I'm saying. This is all I wanted to share with you. That this was my experience, and I told you what. It's not like I'm whining. I'm trying to make it a lesson, and I share it with you because imagine I told you the bad part is I already had some problems, and having such a bad fall is like even scarier, let's say, and it was even for me in that moment. Exactly, that was in my head, like this is even anyway. So I don't know, maybe I hope you enjoy it, I hope you like it. Did you have any kind of these experiences? If you want to share them, leave them in the comments, feel free. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.